my book is Hustle, Educate, and Motivate, and it's just like it's about transitioning from street life to legal life. Nobody really want to have to sell drugs, want to have to rob. If you found another way to make money, a lot of people wouldn't be doing some of the stuff that they're doing. So my name is Antoine Nelson. Born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Elizabeth was fun. It was fast. There was a lot going on. If anybody from Elizabeth asks me, I always say, I represent the downtown area, the Eport area. It was never a time that I didn't think I was gonna make it out of the hood, because when I was in the hood, when I was hustling, I really thought that I was gonna make $1 million and then I was gonna leave the hood. I just didn't know the means of how I was gonna leave the hood, but I knew like my aspirations were for bigger and better things. Like I always wanted, like when I was a kid, like I used to want that car, I want that house, I want a jet. Like I always wanted bigger, I always wanted more. So I knew that I was gonna be out. I don't know which way was gonna get me out, but I knew I was gonna get out. My first plan to make it out of the hood was going to Morehouse. I remember my middle school principal, Ms. Dixon. So I told her I wanted to be a lawyer. She told me like, nah, you're gonna be a judge. So that was gonna be my way out of the hood. I thought I was gonna be a lawyer, and I thought I was gonna be a judge. All up until, our court cases and have felony convictions. So now I can't be a lawyer or judge. But when it got to that point, I no longer wanted to do that anymore. I'm actually doing the things that I want to do is what I'm doing right now, like the things I'm doing now.
Antoine is currently serving as a mentor to several young children and a life coach to felons looking to turn their life around.
So, growing up in the area that I grew up in, I didn't see a lot of people who had jobs. And even the people that I did see that had jobs, it didn't look cool. The jobs didn't look cool. There's a lot of people coming home looking dirty. They was tired, doing work that I didn't consider that something that I had aspired to do. But the people that I did see around me that had nice cars, nice clothes, nice jewelry, it was the people who sold drugs. And that's what, attracted me to that life.
He wasn't against legal work. He actually volunteered at a local business for 9 months, hoping to get a job, but they never offered him one. So he turned to the streets.
It was prime time, and I knew that the money was tight as far as with the family. My mother, money was tight. So I did what I knew. I did what I saw. Like I knew how to go to New York and get it. I knew how to package it up. I seen it. My friends, they was already all doing it. And like I did it, and I got my prom outfit, got my rental, got everything that I needed for the prom. And I said I was just going to do it for the prom. And then it kept going. Like I needed this, maybe next summer. Then it just kept going and it just kept going. So after prom, like imagine just being broke and then having money. Like who would want that to end? So I kept going with it. I was able to live a little. So I was hooked. Like with my calculations, I saw $1 million. I know how much coke or dope I had to sell in order to get $100. I remember being on the corner, first starting to sell dope, and the bricks was $500, right? In the morning from like 7 to 11, I probably sell 10 bricks. So I made $5,000 before noon, before lunch. Like who would give that up? That was hard. That was a hard thing to give up for a kid who came from not having. So we in the game, everything going good, but with that comes, death, jail, everything that time you missing with your family and your kids, just being in the streets. I mean, it's so much that to lose out here, and we don't realize that when we're 17, 18, young kids. You don't realize that it started to come to an end. I remember getting locked up 4 times in like 4 months. I'm getting locked up back to back, getting caught 55 bags of weed, getting caught with a couple bricks of dope. Went to New York, got caught coming back on the train. Detectives followed me back. Ended up doing some time in Essex County. It just started. Everything started to hit, and I ended up going on the run because I didn't even want to go in to do my sentence. I was out on 3 bails. We had a serious beef going on at the time, to the point where I seen somebody get killed in front of me, and it was just like it was a lot going on. And I had to get out the area, and I was on the run for about 10 months before they caught up to me. I ended up coming back up here to help my brother come up with some bail money and get him out of jail. He got caught up on something, so I came back up here, hustled up some money, got him out of jail. And same situation. I just stayed up here a little too long, and I got caught up. I remember they caught me in the 3rd court, and I shot a fake name, and they telling me that's not my name, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like I was really at that point tired of running, so I just was like, you know what, like my name Antoine Nelson, and I just was like, my name Antoine Nelson, and then it took me in. It was over. That was the end of the ropes for me for a second. I could go from there. When I first got locked up, I went in, and it was a couple people that had got locked up, and they were still in there. And so they was telling everybody like, all right, this your bail, this your bail, this your bail. So I'm like, asking bells. I'm like, what's my bail? And he like, man, you ain't got no bail. Go sit your ass down. I was just like, damn, it's really over. Like, it's really over. And
this was his Kensho moment when you fall so far that the only thing left to do is to skyrocket up. Antoine's moment came in a dark place, literally.
I always tell this one story about one time I had to do 25 days in the hole. So while I was in the hole, you know, we ain't have nothing. You only could go take a shower on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It was literally nothing in the cell. We had breakfast at 5 in the morning. We had lunch at like 9, and then we had dinner at like 3 p.m. So from 3 p.m. all the way to the next day, 5 in the morning, we used to starve, like really starve. Like it was rough in the hole, and it was nothing in there. So I was literally talking to myself, singing myself songs, just trying to do anything to keep sane. And I remember that 7th day, I was in there. I had to do 25 days. That 7th day, it just hit me like, how did you end up here? Like, you supposed to be going to Morehouse. Like where you went wrong? When that situation was over, when I made it out of that hole, it was just like, I'm just gonna go forward, and I'm gonna take as many people forward with me, like, as I can. Like, it was just like getting out of there and getting home, and shout out to my support system for helping me on that transition, and you know, just came out grinding, like working 2 and 3 jobs, going to school, still trying to figure out if I'm going back to street life or not. Like, from working 2 and 3 jobs to figuring out that I would never get rich by exchanging time for money. So I had to figure out more ways. I needed passive income. I needed to learn how to make money when I was asleep, because there was no way. I had so much against me at the time, paying so much child support, you know, trying to, you know, get back with my kids, build relationships back. Like, it's hard, like, after 4 years to try to, you know, my kids barely knew me. Like, when I left, I had a 2-year-old, and they were still in, the other 2 were still in the stomach. And I came home with 3 kids that was 7 and 4, and 2 4-year-olds and a 7-year-old. And they like, besides visits, like, I never got a chance to spend time with them. I knew I wasn't going to allow that to happen again. If I could help it, I was going to figure out a different way on how to get money. And that's basically what I like to teach. When I teach people or kids, like, if you teach kids how to make money legally, a lot of them wouldn't be doing a lot of stuff that they doing. They wouldn't be in the streets. There's no reason to. They got the money that they need. They could do this. They could do that in the club or whatever. You know what I mean? Do whatever they could do. But they wouldn't be doing all this other stuff that is probably makes no sense to be doing. Like, a lot of people do it out of financial hunger, not because they want to stand on the corner and sell illegal drugs. Somebody wants to do that. Somebody want to do that. I just went off real quick.